John Aboud, Chairman of Crime Stoppers Trinidad and Tobago. Dennis Gordon, Conference Chair and Vice Chair of Crime Stoppers Trinidad and Tobago. Special guests and members of the media. It's indeed an honor to be back here in your country. It's not my first time. I've been here dealing with previous lifestyle conferences, such as the Association of Caribbean Chiefs of Police. But today it gives me a special pleasure to be here amongst my colleagues. Also, it's the first time John and I have been together as board members of Crime Stoppers International. As you may know, at the last conference in Toronto, John was elected as Regional Director for Crime Stoppers International and sits on the international board. Crime Stoppers International. Well, what is Crime Stoppers International? Basically, it's a global, not-for-profit organization that governs all of the Crime Stoppers programs that we have established around the world. Crime Stoppers International's vision is very simple. It's to help stop, solve crime, and our mission is to mobilize the world to report information of crime anonymously. How did it start? Now, I'm looking at some of the faces here who I've known for many years. And let me tell you how it started. It started near 40 years ago in a place called Albuquerque in the United States, where a young detective was trying to figure out a murder in a gas station. He had no support at all from the community, so he went to the media. And for the media personnel, it's here, I emphasize that. He went to the media, and with him and a board of individuals from the community, they established what we now know as Crime Stoppers International, or Crime Stoppers itself in the word as we have it throughout the region. The Crime Stoppers information that they got went to law enforcement, and within a couple of days of the media and the local community working together with that detective, Crime Stoppers was born. The organization today is in 26 countries around the world. And through these local and national programs, we actually are seen by a population of over 500 million people. It goes from as far afield as South Africa, to the streets of Sydney, to Amsterdam, to Kingston, Tobago, to Kingston, should I say, and then to here, Trinidad and Tobago. So we have a presence basically in 26 countries. I've just come back last week from Asia, where I met with law enforcement in Hong Kong, in Philippines, in Singapore, and in Indonesia. And by the end of this year, we know we'll have at least one program active working in the Philippines. More to come as time goes on. Statistic research indicates, and as I say, we've been around for over 40 years. So statistical research indicates that Crime Stoppers information that comes through our 26 programs helps solve a crime every 14 minutes somewhere around the world. Every 14 minutes. And what we also have found out is statistically that 70% of the information that we receive, the Crime Stoppers programs, whether it's in Cape Town, Port of Spain, or Kingston, Jamaica, 70% of that information that we receive would never be reported to police. Close to 1 million criminals have been arrested throughout these locations and from information received. And we just get information. From the information becomes the intelligence that law enforcement use to move within our communities. Over $10 billion of drugs has been seized, and over $2 billion of stolen property has been recovered. 40 years of statistics, yes, but more recently, when we can claim that amount of success, we know that we can do the job that we're asked to do in many of the communities. Crime Stoppers International maintains special consultative status. The Social and Economic Council of the United Nations, we're a member of these teams. With Interpol, our global policing force. With the UNODC, United Nations of Drug and Crime, and see us embarking on global projects to assist transnational crime and to assist individuals and organizations such as the World Wildlife Fund and environmental crime. Also, a collective agreement was signed last year in Toronto with the CNN International, the major global media, and we are working with the BBC World Services. Because we understand one thing, as does a lot of other people in the communities. It's you, the media, in our communities that get the message over to the community. That message that goes over through the media is then heard by the community. They act on it, and the information they give us is then sent to law enforcement. So it's not just because I come from the island of Bermuda, and we use the Bermuda Triangle as an example within our organization. It's just that there is a three-tier pyramid that we have within Crime Stoppers that has worked. That is the community, law enforcement, and the media makes things work. To obtain intelligence on a global transnational scale, we've also established ourselves in many parts of our organization with a world headquarters now, which is now in the Netherlands. We're an American-based company formally and registered, but our operational headquarters now is in the Netherlands. That's where the calls, and we have a call center there that come in, and the transnational crime that we're now dealing with and the partnerships we have with Interpol is all based from our Netherlands headquarters. Crime Stoppers International expanding in global footprint, as I said, in Latin America and Asia. And this, the 37th annual conference, that will offer delegates from these regions the opportunity to engage with other long-standing programs to benefit the best practices, whilst at the same time benefiting from expert presentations from roundtable discussions. I am very honored to be here today for one reason. I have been involved in Crime Stoppers for over 20 years. From a law enforcement point of view, my role was to contain the intelligence and information. Then I moved into the civilian side. I have worked in very bad areas throughout the Caribbean in certain locations where I know that law enforcement cannot always get to the problem. I know that Crime Stoppers International and the Crime Stoppers affiliated programs we have around the world get to our communities where others can't, and give them communities the opportunity to report information that can help solve crime. For Trinidad and Tobago Crime Stoppers program to be hosting the 37th conference is indeed an honor for me to be here. The Trinidad team that has traveled to Crime Stoppers conferences has been very implemented in getting lots of action done throughout the Caribbean, as well as throughout our programs throughout the world, such as South Africa. And for us to be here today to launch the 37th International Crime Stoppers Conference, Mr. Chair, it's indeed an honor, and it's a privilege to stand in front of Trinidadians to say that we are bringing a conference here that will make change within our communities. Thank you.